how can you know that the trader who's provided the information is even correct? I guess there's so many different topics to discuss on that.
First of all, there are some, we have created also in-house a few software that they can identify specific movements of the client in relation to deposits, withdrawals, etc., that they can indicate, for example, market abuse or money laundering and all this, or abusive trading, etc. So we have tried to put on paper a logic that could lead to a possible money laundering offense, and we have converted the logic into software. There are a lot of companies that have done the same. It's not that we have done something super special, but it is something that we need to have in place these days, because there are so many transactions and so quick transactions in and out that you cannot identify manually if there is a money laundering offense taking place. Now, with this is not enough. This is a problem that we would like at some point to use artificial intelligence in order to understand, to take more parameters in the equation. Because right now we have created a software, let's say, which is taking 10 different parameters and is giving a result. There are so many parameters that we could take from a client and the client activity that if we could use the artificial intelligence itself, we could just calculate everything and get to a better result. It's taking time, obviously, to have it in place, and most of the banks, they're working already towards that direction. We hope that we'll be able to do it as well. For sure, right now we are complying with what we have to do. Is already we have already in place more things than we should, but it's what we are saying. It's difficult to identify because of this layering from one account to another account, crypto, etc., and all these things is very difficult. So it's not enough with the creation of one software to identify these transactions, and that leads to another issue, big issue basically of the regulator, the over-reporting, because the law says if you have a suspicion that there is money laundering, you should report it. So in most of the cases now, the investment firms, even if they have 0.1% suspicion, they report immediately because they say it's better to report because you don't pay tax or something if you report. It's better to report than not to report and then be in troubles. So around the world now, the regulators are having a problem of over-reporting.
That makes so much sense to me. Like, that would create such a massive overhead. If you're a broker, to cover yourself, just report everyone.
Yes.
Done. I've done my part, but that kind of defeats the purpose. And I think artificial intelligence definitely, to be honest, I don't know of a solution that exists with this, but, just in kind of a general description is, looking at the activity, irregular activity of someone's trading, right? Or someone's, the movement of the money, where, if you look at AI, what does AI do? AI takes a very specific, at the moment, the way it is, so it's not general artificial intelligence. It's taking a specific skill that a human does and training a machine to do it. So, like ChatGPT, for example, has got an incredible ability around speaking, talking, natural language, right? So it's able to, the way you're able to communicate with a technology like ChatGPT is because it's just got this massive corpus of text that is able to predict what next to say, which is quite a fascinating technology. But I think around AI and for here money laundering is, how does a normal trading account look in terms of activity? And if the data you're picking up as an AI is irregular, something's wrong here,
yes.
that would help. I think that would help quite a lot and reduce the overhead, as opposed to putting this kind of blanket rule, brokers scrambling to cover their ass and just report everyone and say we're good, but you're not actually good because you haven't tackled the problem from its root.
You're right. Look, there is discretion on the companies to decide what tools they will use for identifying money laundering. I would say something different. Why we don't move this responsibility of creating a software to the government? So to put all the resources in a central software, which will not give even space to the brokerages to escape from this monitoring of money laundering. So we could get also something from the authorities officially, a tool that they will develop, which will obviously be around artificial intelligence, and we could implement it in our systems. This way you will avoid this over-reporting. Because if we build our own tool, obviously we will build it in a way that will promote the reporting. Because if you report a client, you don't need to stop the client to freeze the account. You should keep the account open and live. Otherwise, you are tipping off the client, which is another criminal offense. So for us, the ideal scenario, if we were building the system, we report everything, all the clients, most of the clients at least, and at the same time we have the clients trading, and that's it. But what about the other side of the coin? I mean, the authorities will get flooded from reports.
You're opening up opportunities for companies like mine.
With pleasure.
Let the government come. Thank you for watching. If you liked that video and you want to watch the full episode, it's available here. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. It helps the channel.